Hi, my name is Tim Forde, and I'm here with Distinguished Toastmaster John Keating. He's going to be talking to us about how you can develop your self confidence through public speaking. So, John, is it true that you can develop your self confidence by learning to speak in public?
Yes, I think your self confidence can absolutely soar once you master the concept of putting a speech together. It's the one fear that we all dread is the idea of standing up and speaking before an audience. It gets the heart racing. We get dry mouth, sweaty palms, and we go into a terrible tiz and fear. But once we learn the process, and it is a process, and we learn how to put a speech together, how a speech has a beginning, a middle, and an end. Once we learn how to practice and deliver that speech with confidence, uh, it does make a great difference to a person's self confidence. They've mastered a fear that most people have, as I say, and then they can learn how to connect with an audience. And to be able to stand up and connect and influence an audience is a great skill. And within a Toastmaster environment where you learn and practice with others and you learn through with others, your self confidence grows at a gradual basis and it can be very, very effective.
John, can you tell us a story about somebody or give us an example of someone that you've seen flourish by learning to speak in public?
Yeah, we had a girl, Nully Keeley. Nully had completed her PhD. She was unemployed. She came into Bishopstown Toastmasters um, wishing to enhance her communication skills. Nully would describe herself as a lab rat. She spent all her time in a lab, um, but when she got laid off, she wanted to enhance her communication skills. So when she came in, as you know, there's a 10 speech program. She went very, very enthusiastically through that program. She visited other Toastmaster clubs and got very, very involved. And she enhanced her evaluation, giving feedback skills, and she really enhanced her communication skills very well. After about 6 months within the club, she went for an interview. The interview was for a communications manager for a large pharmaceutical. The first interview, she was asked what skills had she developed while she had been unemployed, and she told them that she was involved with Toastmasters and public speaking, and she had developed those skills, and that greatly impressed her interviewers. They thought that was great, that she actually really enhanced her skills, and they decided to call her back for a second interview. At the second interview, they again probed and asked about what other skills had she developed. And she talked about evaluations, which within Toastmasters is the process of giving feedback to fellow Toastmasters on their speeches. So she had developed very good listening skills and had developed the courage to give positive feedback to somebody else. And that went down very well with her interviewers. And they said, excellent. And she was called back for the third interview. And at the third interview, when she was called back, she was asked to give a presentation. And she gave them a wow presentation. She really blew them away. She got the job. She's now a communications manager for this company. She flies around the world talking science in a non-scientific way to our scientific audience. But there's a person who's come in, just one. I've seen many, many people come in uh, and develop skills in communications and really flourish.
Thanks, John. What advice would you give to someone who is looking to develop their confidence and looking to get into public speaking? What steps should they take initially?
The first step would be to look out to go and check your local Toastmaster club. I don't think there's any organization in the world better than Toastmasters. It's been around for nearly 80 odd years. It has the process of developing your skills done to perfection. It provides a secure, friendly, supportive club environment to develop those skills. So finding out a Toastmaster club is the first thing. Make the call or come along to a meeting. Um, that would be vitally important, and see whether you want to get involved. All clubs that I go to regularly, you can feel and sense the sense of support. because the members have all gone through the same thing that you're going through now in terms of anxiety and fear of public speaking. All Toastmasters joined initially because they had that, and now through that club environment they've developed. So come along to a club, get a mentor. Good clubs provide mentors who will help you to get through at least the first three speeches. And the third and most important step then is to take your courage up in your hands and book your first speech. Because with a mentor, within that club environment, the sense of achievement you will feel in yourself after doing that will be tremendous. I've seen hundreds, thousands of people give their first speech, and the sense of pride and elation that they feel and self-confidence that they feel is tremendous. The one thing I would say about Toastmasters was advice given by a previous president of a club who said, you won't become a Toastmaster. What you'll become is yourself. You'll find your own voice, your own ability to communicate and connect with an audience. And it just, I won't point on that, in relation to your own self-confidence, far better and far more important than developing your own self-confidence, when you're an accomplished speaker, your audience will have confidence in you, and that makes a huge difference.
What steps should people take to reduce nervousness before stepping up to speak?
Practice, practice, practice. Practice is the most effective way of reducing nerves. When you have your speech written out and you practice, and how many times you should practice within a club environment, you can practice maybe 2 or 3 times a day for maybe 3 or 4 days before you come in and do it. Practice is vital. Knowing your material and knowing how you're going to open that speech, knowing when to pause and develop and work through the speech is vitally important. Another vitally important technique that's used in sports is the concept of visualization, and that involves sitting down at home, closing your eyes, and seeing yourself deliver that speech, with your eyes closed, and seeing yourself, your name being called out, the applause as you go up, feeling your heart rate pound, and then having the confidence to calm it back down, and going through that speech in your mind and delivering it in your mind. Practice aloud, practice quietly, practice by recording your speech, or even better, video recording your speech beforehand. Those type of techniques greatly reduce stress. You'll never eliminate all stress, but you'll minimize it to a level where you can get up and comfortably deliver that message.
What advice would you have for someone who might be afraid to express themselves or their ideas to a public audience?
I think if the advice or the point of view is not overtly controversial, one way they could do that is talk to their friends, get some feedback from people that they respect and that they know, and voice those opinions to them. Get some feedback in that direction. If it's within a club and Toastmaster environment, maybe talk to your mentor, talk to some members within the club, and just tease out with other people, and maybe a broad number of people, maybe in your family, outside your family, close friends. Put your points of view across and see their reaction, and then judge accordingly.
Are great speakers born, or are they made? And can they be learned? Can those skills be learned by anybody?
Absolutely learned. The techniques of great speaking go back thousands of years, and they haven't changed. Um, from Cicero to Obama and everybody in between, they have all learned the ability to communicate and connect. The techniques and the methodologies of connecting with an audience as are thousands of years old. They're certainly learned. It is a process. Within the Toastmaster environment, you will learn all those processes. And the format of great speeches are all the same, and it hasn't changed. So you do learn. It is possible to learn. We all learn through Toastmasters, we bring our individual styles and our individual personalities to our speeches. But connecting with an audience is a learned process. And there are, from eye contact to gestures to pausing to how you write your speech, about letting your audience take in your message. So there are lots and lots of things to learn in how to effectively communicate to your audience. So it is learned without doubt. I think the percentage is about 90% learned and maybe 10% as an individual.
So you think that anybody can eventually learn to speak very calmly and confidently to an audience?
Absolutely. I would think 95% of it, the majority of people can get up and learn how to communicate effectively. If they bring a determination and an attitude of, yes, we can, yes, they will, no doubt. And I think within a club environment where you're supported, you will certainly develop that skill.
Are there any other benefits to developing public speaking skills that people might know about?
Public speaking as a skill enhances your self-confidence, and that self-confidence can be translated right across all areas of your life, from communicating with your kids to your partner, to your wife, to your work colleagues. If you're going into an interview situation, being confident and learning that you can communicate effectively and you know your own story can be very powerful. The demands for public speaking today are huge, from a eulogy to a best man speech, to talking at a club event. And being able to do that effectively is huge. So being able to communicate effectively can affect every aspect of your life. Communication is the most important aspect of what we do. And communicating effectively is paramount. And it's not just the communicating in speaking terms, but listening and evaluating and taking what's coming in and developing others. One thing within public speaking and within a Toastmaster club, you have the opportunity to help others to communicate effectively. And I think that's a tremendous benefit to any individual that gets involved, because you're now helping others to develop their communication skills. And that's hugely enriching and empowering for that individual to help another, and to see that person then change and develop their communication skills, and then eventually go on and watch them help others. So across all aspects of our lives, to communicate effectively is very, very, very important.
People seem to have great respect and admiration for people who have the skills to stand up and speak. Why do you think that is?
They can connect. They can connect. They know their audience. Everybody that sits in an audience wants to be, wants to learn, wants to understand, to gain something from a speech, whether it is a political, a motivational, therapeutic, any form of communication where information is put across effectively and the audience have come to accept and hear that. And if it's done effectively, people are enriched and empowered by that. There is nothing worse than having an audience listen to somebody who can't connect. And we've all been through situations like that, from at weddings where speeches have been terrible, or your boss is up and he's droning on, he's not bothered about his audience, he's not understood his audience, he's not connecting with his audience, or she's not connecting with his audience. That is terrible. So when we come across somebody that's a good speaker, we as an audience would interpret that as somebody that can connect with us, knows us, and can empower us or enrich us with information in some shape or form. So it's interesting to think about what bad speakers do to us, and contrast that to what good speakers can do to us.
What has developing your public speaking skills done for you yourself?
I've changed tremendously in terms of as a person. I suppose I don't have a fear now of public speaking. I think the one skill I think of all others that I've tried to enhance more than anything is not just public speaking, but is listening skills. I've learned to listen an awful lot better, and that applies to home, it applies to work. I've been able to take what I've learned and been very fortunate to teach fourth year students in Montmorency College for the last 3 years now. um, public speaking skills. I've taken the skills I've learned and helped a lot of other people, and that's been greatly enriching for me as an individual, to go through and see people come in to a club very nervous, and within a relatively short period of time change and see that self-confidence grow in them, and to help and be part of that. That's been hugely enriching for me. Um, and as a person, I've changed, and I feel that I have a lot more to give. I have a lot more to communicate out to others, and that's been very, very enriching. And within Toastmasters, once you learn the skills of communicating effectively, there's so much more you can learn and develop, and then communicate that back out again. So I suppose developing and helping others, listening skills and communication skills have been the real benefit for me.
Thanks, John. Any final remarks?
It is the most important skill we have, is the ability to communicate. It is unbelievable that we're not taught in primary school or in secondary school, in college, or in our work environment to communicate effectively, and we're not. We are very fortunate Toastmasters has been around for 80 to 90 years now, and it is the only organisation worldwide that teaches those skills effectively, cost effectively for each individual. It's fun, it's a good friendly environment. I would suggest and implore everybody to get involved with the Toastmaster Club, enhance your communication skills, and it'll be the best investment you'll ever make in yourself.
Thank you, John.
All right?